In this video, I'm joined by Scott Tsai to help date this vintage Gibson before I begin its restoration. The customer knows for certain that his great-grandfather had a guitar while stationed in the Aleutian Islands during World War II. Could this be that guitar? Hi, my name is Anthony Lattanze, and I've been a professional luthier for over 15 years. Here in my shop outside the city of Philadelphia, I build custom, one-of-a-kind guitars. And after repairing thousands of instruments, I'm turning the cameras on to share my craft with you and maybe learn a few more things along the way. So please like, subscribe, and follow along. Let's talk about this guitar.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, let's talk about it. Where do you want to start?
Customer of mine, his great-grandfather bought this before he went to the war.
But when I heard the story, I was very confused because this doesn't look like a wartime guitar. Mm-hmm. And after he left, I took pictures of it and I sent to you right away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that phone call. I was super excited. It's like, wow, banner, wartime guitar. And then you sent me the pictures. Right away, I just knew that it wasn't, it was like a post-war guitar. Yeah, so, just starting from the top here, if you look at the logo, this is what we call a block logo.
Yeah.
And so Gibson switched to this style of logo in 1947. And then if you look at the side of the headstock, there's actually a taper to it.
Okay, I see it. It's kind of like an arch top.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a feature that you only see on Gibsons from around 1947 to the early 50s.
Okay.
And then if you flip it around, you look at the tuners over here. These are Kluson closed back deluxe tuners. And if it was a wartime guitar, it would have just been open back Kluson tuners. If you look at the neck, actually, it's like just your regular mahogany neck. A wartime guitar would have had a maple neck, and it would have been
Really?
Yeah. A lot of them have maple necks, and they were much thicker. And they made them much thicker at that time because there were a lot of wartime restrictions on metal. So they didn't have truss rods, exactly. So sometimes you see like banner Gibson J-45s with like 1 inch thick necks.
And then what about here at the body?
Yeah, there's a bunch of things going on with the body too. So if you look at the style of the burst, the wartime burst, they had a more gradual transition. So it would have been a little bit more translucent on the edges with like a more gradual sunburst. And then this is your typical late 40s, early 50s sunburst with like the really dark edges and quick transition to the orange in the center.
More opaque there at the black, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But the only thing that kind of throws it off a little bit is the bridge. Up until actually 48 or so, they would have had a straight bridge. So I'm kind of thinking that this was like a replacement bridge from early post-war.
Gotcha.
Because everything else about this guitar kind of points to 47.
And 47.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see some witness marks here too.
Exactly.
Maybe from when the bridge was removed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see them on both sides.
Yeah.
And if you look inside the guitar, there's also the factory order number 943, I think.
Right.
943-7. So that dates it to 1947.
Yeah.
And then -7, that means it's like the 7th in the batch. I would say the quality of these instruments were like technically better than the wartime ones because the wartime instruments, they had a lot of restrictions. Like I said, the truss rod, the maple necks, they were basically blanks taken from electric guitars. They had multi-piece tops a lot of the time. So these are just regular 2-piece book match tops.
Well, yeah, it's interesting to hear like some of the compromises that they had to make.
I mean, those compromises, even though they were like quote unquote compromises at the time, they ended up being like features.
I wish I had a banner year guitar to compare it to, but I do have this 54 J-45. Maybe there's some stuff that we can compare some differences and similarities to.
Yeah. So like on the surface, you would think that they're nearly identical, right?
Right.
Same kind of sunburst, same wood combinations.
Sure.
I mean, the really subtle thing that stands out to me is just the headstock taper. So
okay, so that's on the side.
Yeah. So if this is a 54, you can see how this is just all parallel. It's totally flat over here, whereas this one, it has like a pretty distinct taper.
Yeah.
That.
Like you're saying, that's more like the arch top, and this is kind of more like a traditional flat top you would see with the taper.
Right, right.
These two look so much more identical than this versus, you know, what the guy thought he had. Maybe like a wartime guitar.
Right.
There are some obvious differences, namely, you know, the namesake with the banner. I've heard that some banner years did not actually have banner logos. Is that true?
So the banner years were from 42 to 45. It would have had the script logo for all those years, but then the banners were like somewhere in between. It was like 43-ish to 45.
Got it. So there might be some 42s out there without the...
Right, right.
Only a Gibson is good enough.
Exactly, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the banner is like, it's a little decal.
Right.
Yeah, in the center that says only a Gibson is good enough.
Yeah, okay. So there are some out there from 42 that are banner years, but don't have the banner.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I guess you could call them like the war years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, with the script logo. And then in between those years, there's like some with the banner added on.
I love that guitar. That sounds really great.
It sounds exactly like a Gibson should.
Yeah.
Like a J-45.
And when we're done with this one, it sounds just as good.
Oh yeah. No braces, no string.
All right, now that we've correctly dated this guitar, I feel slightly more comfortable with my plan, which is to remove the top of this guitar. This bridge is only being held down with bolts, so easy removal here. Looking to see if we could find any evidence of a bridge replacement here. And considering all the braces are falling off, the tap test doesn't sound that bad. Here I'm scoring the lacquer seams around the heel of the neck before I remove it. My eyes are getting worse each day, but these magnifiers help me see a little better. I'm using steam along with heat to remove this fret. The steam helps stop the wood from chipping, and the heat helps soften any glue that might be in the slot. Now I'm drilling 2 holes to access where the neck and body are joined together. I'm using a heating blanket to soften the glue under the fingerboard extension. Here I'm separating that extension from the body. And last up for today, I'm going to use these 2 foam cutters, and I'm going to drop them in the holes. I'm going to let this glue soften before removing the neck. Coming next in part 2, I remove the top and its braces, but run into a speed bump when a shrunken pickguard has deformed the wood and both need to be flattened. Thanks for watching, and if you like this content, please follow me, like, and subscribe.